Hi, welcome to my channel. This video is a follow-on actually from yesterday's video that I uploaded, and I wanted to upload this straight after because I missed out a massively important section. I was really annoyed with myself and I thought, why did I miss that? That's like the hugest part of this. So changing somebody's behaviour. So when I talked about Jeremy manifesting everything he wanted for Harry, something major had to happen really for that to happen, and Harry had to change his mind about something. So I'm just going to explain like how to change someone's mind without trying to change somebody's mind, what you really do and how it works like magic, and how actually it can go against somebody's inherent nature, which is what happened with Harry. And I spoke about him in the last video. Going to London with his friend who was doing a master's degree, and they were going to get somewhere together. They've been looking for properties. It was moving forward. It was happening. He was excited about it. He was looking forward to it. It was the right time. He was taking it all seriously. He'd left his rental property, which was our property actually, but he was renting it. He was paying rent, and he came back here to save some money. Everything was on course for it. There was no budging him when Harry makes a decision. Now, so there's that about Harry, but there's also the fact that he will not let anyone down. When I was growing up, this is how I was brought up. If you make a decision to do something with somebody, you commit to something, you are committed to it. You then get a better offer, you don't take that better offer because that's not fair on that person that you have committed to. So I've always had that within me. I won't let anybody down unless I really, really have to. And Harry is like that, but tenfold. Really, so like, will not let anybody down, will not let us down, like his parents, his grandparents, anyone in the family, any friends. I think that Harry is a true friend, very loyal friend. And he's like, no, well, I can't, if he gets a better offer, then he's not doing that. He's doing what he's initially committed to. Even if he doesn't really want to do that thing anymore, he won't let anyone down. And it is like the worst thing for him. So that's his personality. So when Jeremy had intended for him to, or just said that he wanted him to stay in Bath, he didn't want him to go to London. I want him to stay in Bath and do blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of things. Take a look at the other video if you want clarification on that. Some things I didn't mention, but he would need to have significantly changed his mind. Now, what happened with this, and I hadn't really thought too much about it at the time, but looking back at it now, I think, oh, wow. So Jeremy said all of this, and a couple of days later, I was about to go to bed, and Harry came down and he said, oh, before you go to bed, have you got time for a little chat? I want to ask your advice about something. I said, oh, yeah, sure. So we sat down, and he said, I don't know what's happened, but I am full of doubt about going to London. I don't know what to do. I am thinking maybe I shouldn't be going at this time in my life. Maybe, I know I'm going to be okay for the first 6 months. Okay, I've got the money for that. He sold his car. That's what I mean. He's been taking this really seriously. And I know I'll be okay for that amount of time. But after that, there is that uncertainty. Do I want to be pretty skint? And am I going to be able to enjoy myself while I'm there? And so these conversations were bouncing backwards and forwards. Maybe I should wait a bit. I don't know what to do. And then we were going through the pros and the cons. He was really all over the place. And I said, wow, that's just hit you. And he went, yeah, it has. It's just really hit me. I don't know. It's been niggling me for the last few days. So we didn't really come to any conclusion. But then he did say to me, as we were in the kitchen, he was making a cup of tea before he went to bed. He said, I feel better from that conversation. And I said, yeah. And I said, I think you know what you want, don't you? And he went, yeah, I think I do. So that happened, and I knew really that he was erring on the side of staying in Bath, which isn't like him because he would then have to let his friend down, which is huge for Harry. And luckily his friend is amazing and has been amazing about it, and he fully understands. But for Harry to do that is something he just doesn't do. And that kind of, we sort of had that conversation about that he'd have to do that, but that wasn't a major factor for him, which was weird. So, well, it wasn't, because it's all going along with Jeremy's intention. So Jeremy's manifestation was coming to fruition. Harry was changing his mind and going completely against his inherent belief system and his personality and the way he is and what he thinks is right and what he thinks is wrong, because he's quite moral as well, Harry. So there was that. So he was really, really wavering. So that started it. And then this job offer came in out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere. And he basically got the job before anybody else had been interviewed. He was interviewed and he just got the job. And, it was so bizarre because it was actually came from a client of Jeremy's, and was just talking about this role that they were advertising for, and Jeremy said, Harry can do that. Oh my God, it's really good money for his age, brilliant money, really set him up, you know. So basically went and got basically Harry didn't know about this because this kind of happened afterwards, and then this offer came to him, and that sealed the deal with him. He was like, I can't go because this is amazing, because whatever the experience I'm going to get with this, it's going to set me up for doing whatever I want to do in the future. And he's learning so much, it's quite amazing. He's already started. So that was it. So what did Jeremy do? He just had an intention of what he wanted. He was just clear in what he wanted. Then reality conspired in order to bring him this manifestation. And within that, Harry changed his mind. So it's a funny thing, isn't it? No intervention was needed. No messing with the middle. How can I make him change his mind? How can I do the whispering technique and do this and do that to make him change his mind? Because when you start doing that, I'm not saying that doesn't work, because it does to a point. And then when you let go of it, yeah, then it shows to you. But whilst you're stuck in it, you are holding it off. And if you just left it alone, it would happen anyway. The person would change their mind. And yes, they can go completely against their natural nature. So Harry's nature would not normally, in real world stuff, allow him to do that. He would have gone, I'm committed to that now, I've got to do it. Maybe it won't work out, but I have to do it. Can't let anyone down. But he did let someone down, which was huge for him. But like I said, he's been very lucky. He kind of said to me, he'll be fine. I know he'll be fine, best friend, because that's the kind of person he is, and he will just get on with it and he would accept it. So he kind of knew that, but still, it was still a big deal. So he went from being adamant he was doing something and doing all of the things to lead him to that, and he was supposed to be going in September, mind you, so it's pretty soon, to changing his mind completely, getting a job here, a really good job. And actually another part of this is the job he's got is a full-time job, and he's never wanted that because he likes to do his own thing and he's got his freelance stuff going on. So kind of that has had to sort of kind of go by the by for now. He's still got his gaming channel, he's still making money on YouTube, which is awesome. I think eventually that might take over everything. So that's another thing that he did which would have gone against what he's ever wanted to do, because he's like me. He just likes doing his own thing, but he's getting on great doing it. He's really enjoying it. It's really good for him, actually. But there you go. He changed his mind with no intervention. When you mess with the middle, you inevitably cause some resistance, and you inevitably cause some observation of what is now. And you know, in the quantum field, you've chosen the reality you want, and then you're holding it off because you're observing this reality where it isn't happening at the moment, and you're not letting it be. You're interfering. So whatever happens, you do prolong it. If I decide to consciously manifest something, it is going to take longer than if I did it by accident, for sure, because you do it by accident, just thinking about something and having a feeling. There's no resistance there whatsoever. There's no observation, but we cannot help but observe very slightly, even if we know what we're doing with this, even if we've been doing it for a long time and we consider ourselves reasonably good at it, there's still an element of observation. So it's still going to probably take longer. I hope that this was useful. I just want to let you know that you as long as you have that intention and you then let reality work for you, don't worry about the free will thing. I don't get free will. I bet I've changed my mind about a ton of things and not known that it's come from somebody else's thought or feeling. We don't get it. We only understand free will as a human being and what we've been taught and what we think free will is. It probably just isn't what we think it is exactly. So, and I did say to Harry, as I did mention in my last video, are you good with this? Is this what you want? Yeah, it's really what he wants. He's so happy. He really is the happiest. I mean, he's always a happy person anyway. He's generally a very positive person. But this is the happiest I have seen him for a long, long time. He's really free with it all. He's knackered, but he's really doing really well. And, you know, you can't ask for more than that, can you? And I think, do you know what? Okay, so that wasn't what he wanted initially, but now look, he's like flying with it and he's doing so well and he is really happy. So he wouldn't know he doesn't know what Jeremy wanted, and he doesn't know that I would call that a manifestation, even though he is into this, because nobody needs to know that, do they? He has just made that decision himself because he's felt it, he's decided it, he's living his best life. So what's the harm in that? So that is that. That's what I wanted to say because I left it out of yesterday's video and I thought, darn it, that is just like such an important part of the whole thing that I've just left out. The thing is, I don't script anything, I don't plan anything, I just go blah, 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 blah. I just speak and I see what comes out, and then sometimes I miss very valuable points because I don't stop to think. Sometimes I just wonder, it's like when I'm writing, I think, how the hell have I just written that? Because I can't even remember writing it. Like with this, when I go to edit it, I'll think, I don't remember saying any of that. It's really weird because I just go, it's just whatever comes out, and we hope for the best. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love you to do that.